Hi, today I want to talk about tone qualities using your hands, your hand positions, your pick, your skin and fingers, and different ways that you can make tone and sound interesting when you're soloing. So there's a number of different factors, particularly focused on your picking hand, which we can talk about, that can enable you to really make a rich set of different sounds to use in your solos. So don't think that there's one ideal picking position for your hand and stick with it. Instead, experiment a bit. So I might just take this fairly standard position roughly halfway between the neck and the bridge and pick with my standard picking technique, which is largely alternate picking. Then I can think about how I can move the pick towards the neck or towards the bridge. Classical guitarists do this quite a lot, and they have names for these positions where they call it tasto when they play over the fingerboard, and they call it ponticello when they play by the bridge. And the sound changes quite markedly, and you can make it quite extreme. So this can help you to make a really different, interesting, colourful set of sounds while you're playing phrases in your solos. Another thing you can do is think about your pick direction. Although alternate picking is very important for being able to play smoothly and at tempo, it's not the only way it's worth trying to pick. So picking with all downstrokes has a different kind of effect to alternate picking. Also picking with all upstrokes. The differences might be subtle, but they are there, and they also make you play differently and play different kinds of things. You can also pick really hard and perhaps overpick in a way to create a bit of a noisy sound, but it can be quite a good effect sometimes. Where I'm actually picking, and as I'm hitting one string, my pick is actually hitting down onto the next string, like that. The other thing that I can do is I can actually turn my pick and use, instead of the pointed end, I can use one of the rounded parts to make a slightly different sound. And I can even turn my pick so that I'm scraping, so up and down the pick like this, rather than picking the string. And then, of course, I can use my fingers, so particularly the thumb, where you notice the kind of sharp edge attack of the note, which you get with a pick, is missing, and it can sound a little bit more jazzy. And then you can play with your fingers, and especially if you want to create a more extreme kind of bluesy sort of sound, you can pull the string and let it ping back against the frets. So you put all this together and you can really start to make even quite simple sets of notes sound really colourful and interesting when played with different kinds of tones. So here's an example of a solo over our 70s funk backing track using some of the techniques that I've been talking about today. Hope you enjoy it.